I know a lot of you want to lose the weight. Some of you managed to lose some weight only to gain it back, whether it was within a month, 6 months, or even a year or a decade. You always end up gaining the weight back, or you don't manage to lose the weight in the first place. So I'm here to tell you the biggest secret when it comes to losing the weight and transforming your body, but also when it comes to avoiding to gain it back. And the secret is that you have to become someone new. Completely reinvent yourself. And this video is going to tell you exactly how. This completely changed my life. I went from overweight to lean and toned within 6 months, and I have been able to maintain that weight, and it's been a solid 3 to 4 years now. And now I get to teach other women to do the same, and I love that. Here is one of my favorite quotes when it comes to that. And it actually is from Henry Ford. Whether you think you can do it or you think you can't, you are right. That means that unless you believe that you can actually do it, that you can reach your goal, that you can become a new person, and that you can actually keep the weight off, lose it first and then keep it off, you can't. You won't. Simply as that. So unless you believe that you have what it takes, or at least you believe that you can become that new version of you, you are just bound to fail. One of the first things we are going to work on right now is figuring out where do you sit on that spectrum from not believing you can do it and not making it a new lifestyle and a new version of you to actually embodying the version of you who loses the weight and keeps it off. In other words, your identity, so who you believe you are at your deepest level, will just determine how successful you will be, if at all. And I'm not just talking about wellness and weight loss here, I'm talking about relationship, career, studies, all of that. Your identity creates your reality, from your goals to the challenges and how you actually perceive and act in the face of those challenges. So it all comes down to who do you truly believe you are and who do you truly believe you can become. If you think that you're someone who just binges all day or binges at night and who just cannot say no to sweets and who just always skips the workout, then that's who you're bound to stay. Even if you do try to prove yourself wrong, or if you try to actually go to the gym and eat better, you are always going to go back down to who you are and who you believe you are at your core. You know, someone who binges and so on. And that's because your identity will always be stronger than your plan. And that's why if you want to create a new reality, aka lose the weight, keep it off, and everything attached to that, you have to become a new version of you. You have to develop a new identity and just change who you are at your core level. And that's what we are going to talk about now. For those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Floriane. I'm a certified personal trainer, and my mission on here is basically to help you reach your dream body the healthy, the sustainable way. So let's go. The first step, as I briefly hinted at the beginning of the video, is always to acknowledge where you are at right now. Who you are right now. What do you believe in? What's your story? Especially when it comes to wellness and weight loss. Be honest with yourself and make a list of all the different beliefs that you have that some way prevent you from losing the weight and are holding you back from showing up and actually taking action. For example, I'm someone who binges at night. I'm someone who goes out every weekend and just cannot say no to alcohol or junk food. I am not a morning person. Everything that you believe about yourself that somehow, even if it's in the tiniest bit, prevent you from becoming that new you and actually reaching your goals. So the second step is shifting those beliefs around, okay? So again, get that list of all the things that you tell yourself. It can basically be on one column, the belief that you have about yourself, and on the other one, you want to rewrite it with who you want to become. For example, if you say, I'm not a morning person, it becomes, I am a morning person. If you say, I'm not someone who goes to the gym, it becomes, I am a gym girl. And then on the third column, you want to add all the proofs that you can find within yourself, so your past, your experience, or even your current situation, or look outside of yourself or people who have done it, whether it's people you know or people you don't, and just write that down. Make a list of all the proofs that you have that this new belief is true and the old one isn't. It's a bit of homework, but if you really want to shift your identity, that's something that you'll have to do. For example, if you think I'm just too old to get in shape, I've had 3 kids, so I just can't do it. Here's how to turn that around. One of my clients, for example, has a full-time job, also obviously has 3 kids, and yet still found the time to lose the weight, 27 pounds within 6 months. Absolutely amazing transformation. So you want to look for proofs within or without that just keep on reaffirming that not only your new identity is possible for you, but also that you already are starting to embody those traits, or at least you used to. For example, if you say, well, I'm not a morning person, pretty sure you had to wake up early to, for example, go to school. There you go. That's you being a morning person. Whether you want it or not, you still woke up and showed up. So based on that, that means that you are going to start to create a new version of you, a new identity. For example, I'm a Pilates princess, or I'm a gym girl, or I'm a runner. And you really want to pay attention to the words you use, because I'm trying to be someone who runs 3 times per week is so different from I am a runner. This is part of my identity. This is who I am, and I just do it because that's part of me. You really want to be crystal clear on who that new version of you is. Who is that new person that you are stepping into? Who are you becoming? If you don't know where you're going, how are you supposed to even get there? How does she talk about herself? What does she eat? What's her morning routine or daily routine look like? What's her story? What does she think about herself? Everything. You have to know her as if you were her already. Before we move on to actually showing up as that person, I really want to talk about something that I feel not many people talk about here, is when you are embodying, or at least when you are working on embodying a new version of you, when you are creating that new version of you and stepping into her, the old one, the old you, has to die to an extent. They are part of you, part of your old values, old habits, old patterns, old limiting beliefs that have to die, that you have to let go of. What do you have to let go of? What's gonna die? And let me tell you that when you are in the middle, when you are, stuck and in between the old version of you and the new one, it can be really uncomfortable. You're going to be pushed and pulled towards both, and it's just you almost lose yourself before you are able to become that new version and actually settle into them. And in order to help you do that, you have to make yourself do hard things. Force yourself to do the habits that you said you would do that are part of the new identity you're trying to build. For example, Pilates princess. Obviously go to Pilates class, or at least do it at home. Same for gym girl, same for runner. You have to create and stick to new habits that are the stepping stones for you to become the version of you who you say you are. And really be intentional about it. As you perform the habit, as you do the thing, you want to say, hey, look at me. I'm reinforcing the beliefs that, yeah, I'm a runner. I'm going for a run because I'm a runner. Of course I'm running. The fact that you acknowledge it, that hold on, I'm actually showing myself that yes, I'm the new version of me who I've designed, and now it's just becoming a habit. It's going to be so much easier to step into that version of you faster and be less in between those two versions of you who you haven't completely let go of the old, you aren't completely the new version of you yet. So the more you make your intentions clear as you go through life, before actually becoming the new version of you, will make it so much easier. For example, that's how I became a gym girl, and that's how I became a runner, and that's how I'm stepping into some sort of hybrid athlete, which is still really odd for me to say out loud, but that's something I'm aspiring to. That's the new version of me, so that's definitely what I'm trying to reinforce as I go for a run, as I ride my bike, when I go for a swim, and when I'm also going to the gym. So I went from believing that I was a couch potato, literally when I was at my heaviest, I had no belief in me, to actually believing that I'm someone who goes to the gym 3 times per week. I'm a gym girl, and every single time reinforcing that belief. Repetition is so key here. The more you repeat, the more it becomes natural, the more you step into that version. So what we're trying to do now is to find ways to reinforce that new identity as much as possible. And one great way to reinforce that new version is through your environment. So again, as we said, first there is death. So you have to let go of everything in your environment that doesn't feel like it belongs to that new you. So junk food, out. Whatever clothes that may not resonate, and everything in your environment that doesn't feel like the new you, out. Sometimes even people. Things on your phone, digital detox may be necessary here as well. So first you get rid of everything that does not belong into your new environment for your new version of you that you're building. And then what you want to do is just start bringing new stuff or rearranging stuff so your new environment matches your new identity. For example, if you're a Pilates princess, buy the cute clothes, the pink outfits or the ankle weights, and the mat. You can even create, some sort of vision board on your lock screen. So every day when you look at it, you have the overall aesthetic on your phone. So you just can't escape the new person that you're becoming. The more you see it, the more it becomes natural, and the more the environment and who you are going to merge, and you're just going to become that new version because you keep reinforcing it in so many ways. And that's pretty much how the reward system works, okay? If you haven't heard me talk about the reward system yet, it's something that I use very often with myself and with my clients. I just tell them whenever we hit some sort of a roadblock and whenever some habit is kind of difficult, what I do is I tell them, okay, I'm sure you have a wish list of all the new things that your new self would have. Just what I said about the Pilates princess, for example. Well, every time you perform one of the habits that you think your new self should have, it's going to equate to $1 to $5 in a box. I had a virtual jar on my phone, which was in my notes app. And at some point, you gather enough money that you are able to buy the new stuff. So it's a win-win, because the more you reinforce with habits and actually following through, the more you get to buy yourself stuff and actually also reinforce your new identity via your environment, via the things that you buy. And the more you believe it and the more you become it, and the more sustainable and long-term it becomes, because it's just a new you who's actually being birthed. So that's a positive loop right here. The more you believe, the more you show up, the more you buy yourself stuff that makes you see that you are becoming a new version because your environment is getting new. The more you believe, the more you show up, the more your environment get to match that new version of you, and so on and so on. It's just that positive reinforcement loop that helps you become that new you with so much more ease than if you just try to muscle through without having done the work of who am I no longer going to be, and who do I want to show up as, and who do I want to become. If you want it, you first have to become it. If you want to have your dream body, you first have to become the person who has your dream body. It's not a 12-week bullshit challenge. It's an actual identity shift that has to happen. And that is the whole process. Know where you are, know where you want to be, exactly know what you have to shed and what you have to implement into your life, and then reinforce it through beliefs, affirmations, actions, being intentional, and so on. And that's how you actually transform your life and actually become a new version of you and maintain that new dream body. That's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're someone who wants to lose 20 plus pounds, or if you're skinny fat and wants to drop the fat and look lean and toned without starving yourself, spending hours on a treadmill, spending hours cooking and meal planning and trying to figure out a plan, and of course, without gaining the weight back right after, highly suggest you book a call down below with me. It is a free consultation call with me. On that call, I'll see if and how I can help, and if I can, I will welcome you into my program. I've done the transformation, I've done the work myself, and so have all of my clients, so why not you? And as I said, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. It was a fun one. I haven't made something about identity before, I think. And yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.